Hi. So, I have been a technology enthusiast since I was a kid. I remember there used to be these pamphlets that people would give away outside of our school. And I was, 10 years or 11? And these pamphlets used to be about summer camps for children, about computers. It used to be very fascinating for me, okay? I would take the pamphlet, I would go home without telling anybody. I would call from the landline to those numbers and take all the details and then pester my parents to enroll me into those camps. I went to one called Boston where Boston, huh. So where they taught me what how to use Paint, Word, and PPT. And for a child of that age, I felt like a genius because most of the friends I had at school still didn't know how to operate a computer. And I was really into systems and the colors and the technology. I actually cried that I wanted to have a computer at home and as a birthday gift, okay? And my parents actually bought it. It was those fat, big computers that used to come uh, with that Windows ka logo at the starting and that sound effect when it opened up. So, from CDs to floppy disks to pen drives, hard disks, and now cloud storage, I have seen that whole evolution. I have come from that generation. I feel old, but it's okay. I have seen that whole evolution of technology, right? From the time where a dial-up modem used to be installed in very few houses, and the internet was very slow. Like it can be compared to that of a snail's movement. But I used to be very happy. Wow, I'm able to access different websites. I think it was the first time when we were using Yahoo at that time more than Google, and there were all these chat bots. I mean, it's not chat bot exactly. They used to have a separate app. Like Yahoo used to have its own Yahoo का chatting के लिए एक separate. So it was the first time I created an email. I explored the internet for the first time, thanks to my cousin, who was also very active with the hardwares and all that stuff. So I learned from him. I learned how to literally dismantle the whole system, clean it up, and use it. Okay, I had my first email ID when I was maybe around 12 or 13, probably, yeah. And I literally logged into different these social media communities. At that point, social media was what? Orkut, bharatstudent.com or something like that. So and it was illegal, okay, but I still wanted to explore. I did that and I made friends with strangers. I even had conversation with strangers. But when my cousin and he came to know it, he was like, you cannot do that because it can get very dark and it can get very ugly out there. And because of the fear, I had to delete all that accounts. So the point being, someone who has been so interested in technology and all the good things that came with it, be it the uh, time effectiveness of communication. Like, earlier to call from one country to another would take a lot of money and a lot of time and sometimes a lot of lag. And it used to be very irritating. And sometimes even sending a letter to another part of the world used to feel like some kind of a Everest task. But with the evolution of internet, it actually truly made the world a smaller place. Like you can call anybody at any time and it doesn't cost you that much thanks to Geo now, which is in the pockets of all these people who must not even have had access to good schools or hospitals till date. They have internet. But so now the funny part is everybody is an activist because of the internet era. Everybody is allowed to give their opinions. So here's one hot take that I recently found after the advent of AI into the Indian landscape. Now, for me, it was very funny because Every time I would see this Avengers movie, Age of Ultron, like it's Jarvis versus Ultron, the good AI versus the bad AI. And I used to be fascinated how this will turn out if it was real. And for the first time, seeing actually AI come into life with ChatGPT and everybody texting it like, "Hey, hello, how are you?" Like it's a friend, you're texting it, एंड आई थॉट दिस वॉज जस्ट अ स्मॉल जोक लाइक ठीक है बीच में कुछ आया है दे आर एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग द ट्रेंड दे वॉन्ट टू they'll explore it. I wanted to see how much they'll explore and all that. But what I did not realize is that rapid expansion of AI within just 5 years, 5-6 years max. Now, from just being this cute chatbot where you're texting and saying hi, how are you, write a mail, so from making it do mundane activities to now making codes out of it, creating apps out of it, creating websites out of it, it has effectively reduced a lot of time. True. And it has also been integrated into all these other apps and other softwares where it used to be a little difficult for a normal person to use, but it is able to with actually even now it is not very easy, because AI too needs these special prompts that you need to understand yourself when you're typing it. It is still not multilingual, it is still in English predominantly, so it is still out of access for a lot of people who are illiterate or who are not well versed with English or with the prompts. But you look at it this way कि अभी everything is AI. Like right from writing these stupid leave letters to creating project proposals to creating codes to actually designing. There was actually this whole phase where we were discussing about the controversy whether ChatGPT should have used the Ghibli art or not. There was this whole question of whether art is threatened by AI or not. Now, forget all that. What I was very perplexed, or what made me ponder, is yesterday a friend of mine messaged me saying, I got demoted and 1,100 of our organization's employees were removed, were laid off with just 2 weeks notice left and with some pay. Now it really made me question, because just a day before that I saw in Andhra Pradesh a Google data center being established. Now, if you know that data centers are just information dumps used for analysis later and for training all the AI models. Now, for me, what was very weird was we are all able to see how effective AI is, especially for entrepreneurs who want to cost cut, increase their profits, deploy AI models. All is fine, all is fair for them who are going to earn out of it. But here are like 3 things or 4 things that I feel very weird about, because I had read a survey or a research that said that all these tech companies that are actually investing into these AI models are currently bleeding a lot of money. I mean, all of them are in the race, all of them want an AI model, and it's funny how much money is just being lost in creating that one perfect AI that can solve all your problems. And they're still doing it at every cost, at every stake, even if it means that they have to sell away the stakes of their company or whatever they have to do for it. And they think this is going to be very path breaking. And all of them are in this blind race. Some of them don't even know what they want their AI to achieve. What are they training their AI to learn? Right? That was the first point that was very weird for me. And the second point was, if you look at the human cost of AI, yeah, a lot of people were talking about how AI is going to replace human labor. I always believed that artificial intelligence was always based on human intelligence. You take away human intelligence, and artificial intelligence cannot survive for a longer time. Artificial intelligence too needs someone to run it, right? But for me, what feels weird is just for saving the few bucks that organization thinks they have displaced so many people from their livelihoods. So instead of generating employment, we are reversing unemployment. We are reversing employment. That means we're unemploying so many people. Now what will happen to all these people? Nobody can say, nobody can predict, as long as again they are going to go upskill themselves in prompt engineering and all these extra fields. And I don't even honestly know if these people have enough monetary resources to upskill themselves, and even the time, because most of the companies don't hire you above a certain age. Now all these people that you have unemployed, they come from different backgrounds, so some can and some cannot. So what about those people who cannot? Where will they go? Now that was second point of the mass unemployment that is happening at the cost of establishing an AI model. My third concern was, I was seeing this news where Andhra Pradesh established a Google data center. Now, like how I was telling you before, now this data center particularly needs 5 lakh liters of water every single day to maintain the temperature of the center. 5 lakh liters of water will be used. Now, every time a data center is established, local communities in US have fought. I have seen videos where local people in US are saying no to having a data center because they are seeing the destruction of their natural resources. Now, Google decides to come set up its data center in Andhra Pradesh and use our local resources, but at what cost? Are people of Andhra Pradesh or those community people would be given representation in this or stakeholdership in this project? I don't see it. And it is very weird कि for a normal person to even register his company takes over a month with all the red tapes, with all the bribery that happens. But this data center was established within 9 days of environmental clearing. Like 9 days it took to clear off all environmental clearances. And imagine, this place is not even situated in the city. It is situated in a ecologically sensitive area. It's in the forest. It's somewhere near the forest. That's what I've heard. Now, I don't understand when you're allowed to establish such kind of establishments in a state which does not even have necessary manpower to start an AI model. So Google is not developing AI here. Google is just dumping its info here, and it's using up the natural local resources in that place, where already this country is suffering with the lack of drinking water. During summers it is worse. Now you're telling me we have to share this water with AI as well. Now I don't understand ki at what cost do we want AI? In what centers do we want AI? Because I think companies have to start redefining where their AI should be utilized for. They should be really specific. Health, important. Defense, important. Everyday mundane activities? I don't think so. I think we are quite capable of writing an email. I don't think we need an AI to write an email for us. What about human intelligences that will be waned away with that dependence on artificial intelligence? Is that what the future we want for our children or the next generation that takes this planet? It's really something I want to understand, because I'm still very confused about where this is going to lead us to. Like, you can perfectly drive, but you need an AI driverless vehicle to drive you around. Just recently, it was funny that I saw this video where I think China had a restaurant, and there was this robot that was working on artificial intelligence that was serving the customers there. It went haywire. Nobody knows what caused that haywire, and it threw all the utensils on the customers, and it began to dance right in the middle of the restaurant. Traditionally, it was a human job. You gave it to a robot. Robot only takes instructions. It doesn't think whether it is the right thing to do or not. So I don't see how you can think that artificial intelligence is really going to be profitable to you when you will lack a community to support you. I don't know. I think this is something all of us should ask ourselves. Is artificial intelligence bringing us together, or artificial intelligence is furthering isolation among people? Is it really benefiting the cause that for which people are losing their careers, people are losing their lives? I'm not saying it is a monster, but I think it's high time we define the boundaries of it. We define how much of resources do we want to bleed into it. I think it's high time we make a decision of where we want to use it.